Hi, my name is Kyle Mulholland and I'm the minister here at St Silas Church in Wolverhampton. And today I want to answer the simple question, would God have me? I've spoken to a number of people, and when I've told them that I'm a Christian or a minister, they've come back and said, oh, I could never go into a church. If I went into a church, the structure would come crashing down on top of me. Or they will say, I couldn't go into a church. I'd probably burst into flames when I go in. And I think what's behind what people are often saying there is, I'm too bad a person. I've done too many bad things, and God won't want anything to do with me. In fact, if I tried to get near God, I'd probably get into serious trouble. So I better stay away. And that's the question behind it. Would God have me? And people are thinking, no, I'm too bad. I'm too dirty, perhaps. Jesus answers that question, would God have me, in a way that may seem surprising to you. Let me read to you from an account in the Bible when Jesus meets a man who's not sure whether Jesus wants to help him. And this man is a leper. I'll just read it. It's from Mark chapter 1, verses 40 to 42. And there came a leper to him, beseeching him and kneeling down to him and saying unto him, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. And Jesus, moved with compassion, put forth his hand and touched him and saith unto him, I will, be thou clean. And as soon as he had spoken, immediately the leprosy departed from him and he was cleansed. So this was a man who had leprosy. It was a skin condition. Now, the skin condition that's called leprosy today refers to a specific and horribly gruesome condition. Back in the first century, there were different kinds of leprosy, and this man was afflicted with one of them. It seems from the man's reluctance that he had the leprosy as a result of some sin in his life. He'd done something wrong, and God had given him this leprosy to show that God was displeased. Leprosy meant that you were cut off from ordinary society. You couldn't be around other people. And you were also cut off from temple and synagogue worship, which for people in a religious society was very significant. So this leper, perhaps he's a man who's conscious that he's done some bad things in his life. He knows he's shut off from society and from God. And he comes to Jesus in desperation. And he says this, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. If you are willing, if you have the will, if you want to, Jesus, you can make me clean. That's what this leper says to him. He knows that Jesus has the ability to cure his leprosy. He's heard about the amazing miracles that Jesus has done all over Galilee already. He's not in any doubt about Jesus' power. But the question that's on this leper's mind is Jesus willing? Does Jesus want to help an unclean person like me? And the response of Jesus is a word not only for that leper, but also for you and me today. Jesus says, I will. In other words, I am willing. Jesus says, I look on you and your leprosy and the condition that you're in, and the way that isolates you from God and from men. And I move with compassion, and I want to help you. I want to cleanse you. I want to restore you. And he says, be thou clean. And with the touch of Jesus and the word of Jesus, that horrible skin condition is gone. The man's skin looks like that of a newborn baby, and the man is restored to fellowship with God and to human society as well. His life is completely transformed. Now that answers the question that I started with. Would God have me? This was a man who was unclean. Perhaps you're a person who feels unclean. You've done some things in your life that other people know about that mean you sometimes even struggle to be in the company of other people. And you definitely don't want to go anywhere near God, because you'll feel exposed, you'll feel dirty, you'll feel bad. But this man who felt that way came to Jesus and he experienced the compassion of Jesus and the power of Jesus to cleanse him. So if you're somebody who feels unclean, who feels like you have to stay away from God, that isn't the case. You don't have to stay away from God. You can come to Jesus. You can make the prayer of this leper your prayer. Jesus, make me clean. Jesus, bring me into fellowship with you. Jesus, cleanse my heart so that I no longer walk around with this sense of dirtiness and unworthiness. Jesus, change me. And Jesus will receive you. He will change you, and he will bring you into fellowship with himself and also into his wonderful family, which we call the church. You are welcome. Come, be like this leper and experience the cleansing power of Jesus.